Hello and welcome to the Real Estate Regroup Show. I am your host, LJ Walker, a real estate investor helping you realize your dreams of owning a home or investing in one. So I'm not sure if many of you know this, but several cruise lines today are offering packages in which you can actually buy a cabin on board. Many of these cabins are not like your regular cabins when you are cruising for a vacation. These cabins are actually condos. So, yes, many of the new ships will have condos on board for you to buy. Their prices range depending on, which vessel you choose. For example, you have the Storyline that is charging somewhere about $350,000 for a studio apartment to $8 million for a two-story penthouse. Okay. The fee per month per person is $2,365. So far, I heard in most broadcasts. However, when I checked a number of different news sources, the numbers vary. But I'll just stick to what I first originally heard, okay? Now, for the $2,365 that you have to pay a month, that's going to include all of your meals, your Wi-Fi, your laundry, the gym, the movie theater, the anti-aging clinic, the hospital, the 2 farms on board, and yes, of course, maintenance. That's what all of that covers. Now, one of the other ones that was in the news, the World Residence Line, they were at $130,000, but again, news sources are not keeping up with that particular figure. It seems as though that figure keeps changing. But basically on board that one, which is cheaper, the residents get to decide where they want to go, and they will be at that port anywhere between 1 and 5 days. That particular one has studios again, and 1 to 4 bedroom apartments. It doesn't seem as though that one has a penthouse. According to that one, everything is covered except for childcare, certain medical practices, premium alcohol, and the ship will have its own store, so whatever you buy in the store, you'll have to pay for it. Okay, so that is one of the two that I hear about the most, and that's the difference between the two. Again, there's 3 more that's also out there. And then the other thing that I did learn is that there are people before these boats even came out that were living on cruise ships full time. Those 3 people that I heard of, they were elderly, people that were already retired. One individual, he lives on Royal Caribbean, 365 days a year. Now, he stays on board for as long as he can, but of course he has to change ships. Why? Because every now and then the ships do have to dock for overall maintenance from, top to bottom, right? Including getting loaded up with gas and whatever else, is needed for that engine to run. So basically he just hops on board another Royal Caribbean. It has been said, this is pre-pandemic, so this was about 2019 when they interviewed him. It's said to have cost him $72,000. Now, he does not have the condo. He just has a regular cabin, inside cabin, one that has no window, no balcony. $72,000 for the year. What I've been told is many of the boats don't really like that. They were beginning to see a lot of elderly move on board, but I have not been able to find exactly how many people do this full time. Again, I only found out about 3 of them. This particular gentleman, 72,000, that's the cheapest, right? So the reason why they did not like it is because most cruise ships don't have a doctor. I mean, they'll have a doctor on board, but they don't have a full hospital on board. And that doctor is not disciplined in all procedures. So maybe this is why they decided to say, hey, let us build these boats. Most of the boats, yes, are luxury, but the other boat here, the World Cruise one, that one is supposed to be quote unquote more affordable. But of course, you know that there are a lot of people that are not going to be able to afford even that one, right? So what do you guys think? My question really is to you, would you invest or would you buy or purchase this, since there really isn't clear data as far as would this necessarily be popular or not? I know that I heard that one of the boats, and I think that was the more affordable one, the one that's for $130,000 for the studio, that one pretty much sold out already. They said that the makeup was people who were 30 and 40-year-olds, and some of them even had kids. Shocking. So, for me personally, I feel as though there's not enough data out there yet to make an informed decision. Yes, I know they say that, a person doesn't necessarily have to live there on that boat. They can just buy the property, buy the condo, and then rent it out. Rent it out to, let's say, $10,000 a night. Or was it $10,000 a night or $10,000 a month? I don't recall exactly. Would you get your money back after a while? Yes, you would get your money back, and it would be a pretty decent investment. But again, the thing is, there's not enough information on what the demand is going to be like. I really need to know, like, exactly how many people are going to be buying condos on board a cruise ship before purchasing. I think that's very important to know. The other thing that I do have an issue with is that many cruise ships have horrible Wi-Fi. So my business depends on Wi-Fi, right? And I know that a lot of people, their businesses also depend on Wi-Fi. So that probably would be a strong deterrent. The other thing is that you do have a number of travelers out of those. First of all, you have a lot of people who don't travel, right? And you do have a lot of people who do. But if you look at just the amount of people who travel, some don't go on ships because they suffer from being seasick. And then you have some people who just suffer motion sickness. They can't be on any kind of moving anything at all. I used to work with someone that was that way. So, the numbers, the target audience is rather small, in my opinion, so far. But again, it all boils down to numbers for me. It really does. So, guys, I would like to know what you think. I'm taking a poll myself. Would you live on a cruise? Would this be ideal? Think about it. You're able to go to just about any country you want to. Normally, a poll would be done on the cruise where you guys would determine, well, depending on which cruise ship you use, where you guys would vote on which country to go to next. And you get to spend 5 days there. And then think about this. I mean, a lot of things is relative, right? It depends on where you live. Some of you might say, oh, wow, $2,365 a month on top of the mortgage. That's a lot. Okay, but how much do you spend on food, Wi-Fi, laundry, going to the gym, going to the movie theater. How much do you spend on all of that? And then also, how much do you spend for maintenance? The maintenance part really would be more applicable to people who actually already own homes, right? For those of you who already own homes, for those of you who already own condos on land, you know, if you add what you already pay, does that equal 2,365? Or is it less than 2,365? You see, you got to take all of that into account. And again, for me, I'm not sure. I'm not sure at this point, because maybe if I retire, I might consider it. But the Wi-Fi is really the biggest thing. And then again, to be honest with you, I don't even know when I want to retire. So, as I stated before, give me whether or not you would or you would not. And then also give me your reasons. I want to know, if you say no, you would never live on a cruise, I would like to know why. And if you say yes, you're all for living on a cruise, I'd also like to know why. Drop it in the comment section. All right. So guys, that's all I have to share with you. Let me know. Let me know your answers, but also please share this amongst your friends. Remember, each one, reach one, teach one. Bye for now. Until next time, have a good night.